Hey everybody, it's Maria. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm in the middle of kind of a restart on life, it feels like. So, I don't know. Hopefully you like it. If you've been around for a while, thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. All right, so a lot of you have probably experienced a reading slump before where nothing you read seems to grab you and hold you. Or maybe life is crazy and you're just not reading, or maybe you're binge watching something on Hulu, which is kind of what I'm doing a little bit. So anyway, I have been starting a lot of books and not finishing most things lately. I finished a couple different things and I'll kind of show you the two that I did finish, but they're itty bitty and I don't know. Anyway, so I thought that it would be a fun video to show you all of the books that I am partway through. And actually all of these books are books that I am really enjoying. I just can't seem to pick one to finish. And I know that I'm probably going to finish The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks first because I'm doing a buddy read of that and it keeps grabbing me. I started it earlier this week and it's holding me. But there are all these other books that I'm actually really enjoying. I don't know. There's just so many that I never know what to pick up, and then I get stuck, and then I watch something on Hulu. I'm sure some of you can relate. Anyway, I will show you first the two books that I did finish and tell you a little bit about them. I am going to resume the counting of the books instead of doing mid-month wrap-ups and the like, just because I like that format, but Booktubeathon, I have to relabel some certain videos. Okay, because I didn't read much in July. I just read this one, The Imperfect Environmentalist, and this is by Sara Gilbert. I got this in a library haul, and I was excited about it. It had some good thoughts. It's organized really well, so it shows you like the little baby steps, a little research as to why you should make those baby steps, some deeper steps, and then some like really in-depth, like environmentally friendly things you can do. Honestly, a lot of this I knew. She had a couple of new things I hadn't thought about. But the thing that bugged me the most is how it is organized. She has different categories for each thing. So you kind of know, like, okay, cut to the chase, hippie. What's the least I need to know? Intriguing, I can handle a little bit more. That's the research part. I need some facts to bore my friends with. That's more facts. And this is the part that drove me crazy. And I know she was doing it to kind of divvy out like how expensive of an option this thing was, because the lowest one is I'm sleeping on my friend's couch and eating ramen noodles. The middle class one is, okay, I've got my own place, but I've also got credit card debt. And the one that means you don't mind spending all the money is I'm Donald Trump. And so every page, almost every page, I had to read I'm Donald Trump. And I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. It drove me crazy. And I know this was written way before any of the election stuff, but I just thought it was weird to have Donald Trump in an environmentally friendly book. Maybe the only two times that they would come together. I don't know. So I wouldn't really recommend picking that one up. There's lots of other good options out there. This one I also finished, Using Primary Sources in the Classroom by, it doesn't have the title or the author on it. Kathleen Vest. Examining our past, understanding our present, considering our future. I did a video a couple weeks ago talking about using primary sources and digging into history in a fun way. So I'd seen this at the library and wanted to pick it up. It does have different lesson plans, especially if you have a middle school or high school class or students. I liked it. I think anybody who is a thinking person should know how to look at primary sources and be a little bit fascinated by them because they can teach us a lot about history, and I really liked some of the questions in here. So those are the two that I finished. And now comes all the ones that I didn't. Okay. First up, The Long Valley. This is a Steinbeck short story collection. It does include The Red Pony. I've read a few of the short stories in here, I think 3 or 4 of them. The one I actually really liked the most so far is Chrysanthemums. It's kind of about a woman who is trying to figure out what her identity is in relationship to the world. And I liked that one quite a bit. I even went on the internet and looked up some different commentaries on it. So, and I always have generally a Steinbeck, but something little mass market paperback in my book. Dragonfly and Amber, this is the second Outlander book. I'm really enjoying it. I just haven't picked it up basically just because I've been busy and I like having a bit more time to read this one just because I like to do it in fatter chunks. So I am enjoying this quite a bit, and I know season 3 is coming out soon, so I'm probably not going to watch it when season 3 is out, but it'd be nice to at least watch season 2. I know my mom would appreciate it if I'd actually finish the book. Next up, this one I'm actually going to restart because it's been a while, and it's Steinbeck, and I know it's going to be a good one. It's East of Eden. I really liked what I read so far. It's kind of a Cain of Abel retelling, if you're not familiar. The characters in here are compelling. Some really messed up, sadistic, kind of weird characters. And I love how Steinbeck talks about people. I know that there's some quotes in here that I'm going to love, so I'm going to probably restart this one when my brain is back to at least 90%. Next up, this one is another one you can pick up maybe 5 minutes at a time, and it's How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen. This is by Joanna Faber and Julie King. It's been really good. I kind of am doing smaller chunks just so I can absorb the information and not kind of overload. So there's that one, but it will need to go to the library at some point. This one, I started, and actually it got wet outside with a pen, so I'm actually going to have to pay a fee on this at the library, I'm pretty sure, but I don't mind because I really think it's a fun book, and I never mind giving them the library money. This is The Little Old Lady Who Broke All the Rules by Katharina Engelman Sundberg, and I know that I saw the sequel of this at the library, so I know there's another one. It's a fun premise. Okay, on the back, it does mention in the vein of A Man Called Uwe and Where'd You Go, Bernadette, which I did not care for Where'd You Go, Bernadette. I could not finish it, but I loved Uwe. This one is about a group of senior citizens who live together in this kind of retirement home. They've been great all their lives, always gone by all the rules. You know, they've done life as most people are supposed to do, not made any ripples. And they're kind of tired of getting the short end of the lollipop. And so they kind of start talking and they decide to do a heist together. And so this is kind of like Ocean's 11 meets The Golden Girls a little bit. It's really fun. I'm really excited about it. I like the character development. She kind of goes with different characters and who's talking about you know, their friends, why are their friends acting like this, when they're starting to get the idea, how they start training for it. It's a fun one, so that's a good one. Next one is a little bit it's a lot heavier. It's Tim O'Brien's If I Die in a Combat Zone. This is also a short story, so I'm going slowly through it, and it's just about different soldiers' stories about war, so. Woman in the Castle. This is by Jessica Shattuck, and I'm about halfway through this one. I wanted to read it for a very long time because I'd seen it everywhere. This is about, and I think it's based on might not be based on a true story. It's historical fiction is what I'm going to say it is. And it is basically, for those of you who, I don't know, might need a refresher, there were several assassination attempts on Hitler's life during World War II to try and end the war. And this is about kind of the spouses of the people who were caught in one of those assassination attempts. One of the wives of the head guy, I guess. They are a little bit well off, and so they have a castle, and she promises the men that are involved that she will take care of their spouses and children if something goes wrong. And so this is about her trying to collect these people after the war or towards the end of the war and try and help them move on. And I like how it's told from different people's perspectives, so you can kind of see those people who, you see the woman who's trying to do the right thing and follow up on her promise, but you also see some of those people who are like, you know what, I've already had my life turned upside down. I don't want somebody else coming in and telling me what to do. You see just what different people's experiences might have been like, and I really have enjoyed this book, but I've needed kind of a break from it for a little bit. So I'm going to be picking that one up, and I read this in about 1 or 2 settings, so it goes quickly when I've got it. This one's a reread, Handmaid's Tale, Margaret Atwood. Most of you have probably been aware of what this is about. It's kind of not too far in the future dystopia where women have been subjugated into basically child bearers. It's better than I remembered it. I actually started watching the first 2 minutes of the Hulu series, and I stopped it because my husband wasn't home and I needed to watch it with somebody because it was just too much in the first 2 minutes. It's going to be really good, but yeah, very intense. Trigger warnings probably all over the place for that one. This one I started last night. I am going to a speaking engagement in October with several different authors and speakers, and I've been slowly trying to read books of all of the people who are speaking. This one is by Luvvie Ajayi, and I'm really enjoying it. This is called I'm Judging You, the Do Better Manual. The first 2 chapters, I was kind of not sure how I thought about it, just because it seemed a little bit superficial, some of the things she was talking about. And then she got into the meat of it. And she's funny, but she's definitely does not hold back on punches, where she's talking about white privilege and she's talking about sexism and feminism and body shamers. And she hits all of my things that I like talking about. And she does it in a funny, witty way, but also very challenging. She asks questions that I'm kind of wrestling with. So I'm going to be doing a bigger thing of this probably when I go to the speaking thing. I'll get all of those books together and talk about them. But yeah, I'm Judging You. So this one I picked up last night and just tore through it. I'm doing a buddy read with my friend Patrice on here. Hi, Patrice. This one, and I know it's the Oprah cover, which if it wasn't Oprah, I'd be a little bit more bummed. But Henrietta, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. This is going to get a whole nother video on it, I'm sure, just discussing it. I was nervous about picking this one up, despite how much everybody has raved about how it's the perfect read for me. And they were totally right. You guys were right. You were right. This talks about social justice. It talks about science, but not in a dry way. It talks about how people relate to one another, how privileged people sometimes don't even consider the repercussions of the things that they're doing. They don't think about the people they're taking advantage of as people, just as sources. And I'm blown away by this book. So yeah, definitely, if you haven't picked it up, especially if you haven't done it because everybody else is talking about it, just do it. Pretend like it's not popular and do it. And finally, Guns, Germs, and Steel. And I did start this one. I know I was going to do kind of a group read on this, and then the summer fell apart. So I will be probably, I'm guessing next month, we will kind of start getting into talking about this. So if you'd like to pick up Guns, Germs, and Steel and do a Voxer talk about it, we'll probably do it in, I don't know, maybe third or quarter chunks. So if you want to pick it up, I'm excited about it. It's by Jared Diamond. It is not dry at all. It was just not the frame of life I needed to be in. I know you guys understand that. So I will talk to you all later. Are you guys also people who read like 10 to 13 books at a time? Is that normal? Is it me? Why do you think we're like that? I don't know. I don't think it's my attention span, because I can tear through a book in a night if I want to. Sometimes you just need to capture something that has the mood you need. And I apparently have lots of moods. So I don't know. Also, you got me all sweaty. I'm halfway through mowing the lawn. My 2-year-old is sleeping. And the only thing that we've gotten her to go to sleep with lately, starting last night, is to play the Moana soundtrack through the speaker. But then I don't have my phone to film. So I got her to sleep, and now I'm filming. And now I'm going to go back and finish mowing the lawn. And that is how motherhood is done sometimes. So I will talk to you all later. Bye.